And welcome back to Sideline, where you get all your Raiders action. I'm your host, Raider Will, and I'm here with my boy, Douglas Sheffield, a.k.a. Raider Homer. How are you today, my brother?
I'm doing great, brother. Doing great, man. Excited to get episode 2 going. So, Raider Nation, be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on YouTube at Section 105 and at Silver and Black Radio Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Silver and Black Radio Podcast and at Homer Raider. And on Facebook, please join our group, Section 105 Media Network. Let's get going, brother. Looking forward to talking about this draft.
Hey, absolutely, guys. You guys want to join all those links? Like Homer said, we're going to have those in the description. And now, on to episode 2. Let's go. Guys, last week we left off basically right after we had to cut the episode in half because we just loved the schedule so much. And we started really getting into detail about what we did. Now, in this episode, we're going to catch up the second part of episode 1, which will be 1, the draft, 2, contract extension, and now that the Raiders are post July 1st, free agent signings that we can see that are going to beef up that Raider roster. So, Doug, let's start with the draft, baby. So give me a zoom, woo, and we zoom right into it, baby. Guys, draft round 1. We are looking at a tight end out of Georgia that is an absolute stud. Brock Bowers. Hey, Doug, give me some numbers on this big boy, baby.
6'4", 230 pounds, coming out of Georgia. Good pass-catching tight end. May need some work on blocking, but is definitely going to help this 12 personnel package that Luke Getsy is going to be running, man. I'm excited to see what he can do with 2 tight ends that are great. Kind of reminiscent, hopefully, of the 2010-2013 Patriots. We'll see how it works out. Give us some more info on this guy. How do you think he's going to fit into this 12 personnel package?
All right. So the way that Brock Bowers, guys, adds to this team is that it's just like Doug said. We're bringing another tight end. This is a guy that is a big target. He's a mixed match for tight ends. He's a mismatch for corners. He's faster than a tight end. He's too big for a corner. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. Now, there are some concerns here, okay? Because we are going to be running a zone blocking scheme. This means both tight ends have to be able to block. But in a zone blocking scheme, there's a lot of double teams at the point of attack. And this can be something that can help us. He's a good blocker that will work to the next level, okay? He's not a guy that's refined in that area. I would say, hey, this guy is kind of like a downgraded George Kittle, okay? George Kittle's a great example of this guy, at least pass-catching-wise and the ability that he gives the 49ers in that offense. So, guys, when you put that up with Michael Mayer on the other side and you go into a 12 personnel formation or an air formation, that's going to give us the ability to create mismatch with those guys. Now, we go on to round number 2. We pick up a big, sexy lineman, a guard, center, out of Oregon, JPJ. Give me a little bit of numbers on him, Doug.
Well, as you said, coming out of Oregon, he's 6'3", 334 pounds, and he's a Raider fan. Man, he was excited to be drafted by the Raiders. The Raider fans were excited that he was drafted. I'm excited that they drafted a good guard coming out of Oregon. You know, that's a good program. We need that depth, so he's definitely going to give us some depth, and you never know what he's going to be able to do in the future being a Raider fan, because I know he's going to come out and smash people in the mouth, man. So tell us, how do you think he'll fit in to this zone blocking scheme?
Hey, he fits right into that zone blocking scheme. He is this year's Richie Incognito of the draft. He's 6'3", just absolutely nasty, heavy-handed, always uses that lateral movement, okay? Now he suffers in pulling. Now, when you're talking about the zone running scheme, he's perfect for that, guys. He double teams at the point of attack. He finishes off blocks. He's heavy-handed. He wants to come forward. When you're talking about a guard in the zone running scheme, that's exactly what you want. A guy that gets that double team, takes you to that next level. Okay, now we go in the third round and we draft DJ Glaze. Doug, what are your thoughts on DJ Glaze?
Well, at 6'4", 323 pounds, coming out of Maryland, I'm pretty excited about this guy too. We needed to solidify the right side of our line. We did that by drafting the guard, by drafting a tackle that's going to be able to put a little bit of fire under the current players. You know, bringing that competition, man. It's always good for the team when there's competition. So I think this is going to be a good fit for our team, man. They're, again, we talked before the show, and he was a zone blocker. So they're drafting not only for need, but people that fit in their scheme. I feel like some of the past regimes kind of just reached on players. Maybe these players aren't flashy, catchy names, but these are guys that fit into their scheme that can be coached. So I'm excited to see how this works out, man. What do you think?
Matt, I think that's another great pick, and this another thing that you're talking about, just a guy that's going to be a finisher, a guy that's going to be a complement to this team. Now, Doug, we come back in the fourth, and we draft Cameron Richardson at corner. 6'2", great frame, great speed. What are your thoughts on the Cameron Richardson?
As you said, 6'2", great size, 195 pounds, good size there. Mississippi State playing in the SEC, right? Good program. I love tall cornerbacks, man. Guys that can jump up and catch that ball, or reach out and deflect it. I know that he may not be the best tackler, but if that could be coached. Patrick Graham's a good coach, man. So I'm looking forward to, because of his size, to him being a part of this team and hopefully being an impact player. So what do you think about him?
Oh man, Cameron Richardson. I love the size. I love the speed. When I look at a corner, that's something that you can work with. Things that you can look at and say, hey, intangibles like that, those are the things that you need out of a player. And he has those intangibles. Now, I can see in the fourth round why you draft this kid as a project. He's a project kid. He's not going to be a first-year starter, but he has all the measurables. Runs a 4.3 40, 6'2". I mean, a lot of the things that you can teach. So, again, I think that's going to be another great pickup. Now, we go into the fifth round with Tommy Eichenberg, who is a solid pickup out of Ohio State. Middle linebacker. I love the pick. Give us some facts on Tommy Eichenberg, Doug.
6'2", 239 pounds, like you said, coming out of Ohio State, a good program. We've been looking for middle linebackers. We're going to talk about Robert Spillane later on. This guy has good size, good tackling machine. Didn't run in the combine, so maybe there were some issues there. But I believe that him learning behind Antonio Pierce and Robert Spillane, this guy could be a good addition for us. Of course, he's going to be playing special teams. We're getting into the later rounds. Most of these guys play special teams. I do think because we've needed linebackers for such a long time, and we have a linebacking head coach that he definitely has a good chance to stick around. So what do you think?
I think we got a steal, baby. Tommy Eichenberg, you remind me of that old school slugger. Okay, when you look at the butkus guys, the guys that are just tough players. So we got us another one. Spillane, when he came over last year, what was the big thing that they said about him? Oh, excels
Coverage
in the run game. Yeah, but pass coverage was a big issue. Now what are they saying about Tommy Eichenberg? Great filler of holes. Reads the run well, but will get exposed in the NFL in the passing game. Our head coach is a Pro Bowl, Super Bowl winning middle linebacker. Who else is better to teach you how to play that position than the guy that has done it at the top level for years? Okay? So when you're getting a guy with that type of experience as a coach and you see all those measurables, man, I bet you right now Antonio Pierce has been licking his chops when he saw that, and he said, I need to pick me up Tommy Eichenberg because guess what? I got Spillane, who's another tough SOB. Now I got two SOBs in there that I'm going to give you that 1-2 punch. That's what I think about Tommy Eichenberg coming to the Raiders, baby. Now, we're going to go round 6. We got Dylan Lobbin. Okay? I'm going to tell you why I like this pick right after Doug gives you some facts about Dylan.
Well, he's 5'10", 208 pounds, coming out of New Hampshire. So not necessarily a program that everybody's familiar with, but he's good at catching out of the backfield. There's a lot of hype around this guy. Definitely, he's going to play special teams. I know you have a lot to say about it, brother. So I'm just going to pass it right back to you.
Yes, sir. So when we look at Dylan Labe, guys, this guy is a Christian McCaffrey type. And when we talk about, listening to what he's going on in OTAs from our boy Q, at the Locked On Raiders podcast, he's saying, man, he's looking smooth like butter out there catching those punts. Guys, this guy's going to make an instant impact on special teams. Expect this guy to replace DeAndre Carter from last year as our punt return. Okay, this guy is quick. He's smooth. He really reminds me of Christian McCaffrey. Okay, this is a poor man's Christian McCaffrey, right? And he might turn out to be something bigger than we think he is, man. Because I'm telling you right now, he's being underestimated because he came out of New Hampshire, a smaller school. That's why he's being underestimated. And that's why a lot of people are coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We got a shocker. But if you really think about this kid in the way that he's played at that collegiate level, bro, he's been a stud. He really reminds me of Woodhead. Danny Woodhead that played for the Chargers, he came out of the Division II school as well. So that's where he kind of reminds me of that mold, but a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. Now we go into round 7. Okay, we draft an absolute stud out of Air Force, Trey Taylor at safety. Doug, let's drop some numbers on this kid.
Well, as you said, he's coming out of Air Force, 6 foot, 213 pounds, man, aggressive, the smart, right? He's in Air Force, he's a smart kid. So, again, I feel like they are going after a certain type of player, a player that fits into their scheme, a level-headed player. In the past, we've had some trouble with the draft. Remember Arnett, remember Ruggs, that's just in Vegas, right? So I think they're drafting level-headed guys. I'm hoping they're doing their homework. And hopefully, these guys make the team on special teams because we don't want our draft picks in any round to be a loss for the team overall. We want these draft picks to come in and contribute, and at the very least, right, if we can't sign them or keep them on the roster because we don't have enough room, we can trade them to get more draft picks and get that draft cachet going. So we'll see how this all works out with these last couple of picks that we're about to talk about. So why don't you just go ahead and take over from here, brother?
All right, brother. So when we look at Trey Taylor out of Air Force, man, we're looking at another guy that can come down into the box and adds himself into the box to stop the run. If you guys think about it, we've drafted this type of guy before. Not that we've had great success, but Jonathan Abrams is that type. Carl Joseph is that type of physical guy that comes down into the box. Now, again, those guys, weren't the definition of successful, but when we look at drafting a guy in the 7th round, okay, both those guys were drafted in the 1st round, okay? In the 7th round, having those attributes, having that skill, having that type of pedigree, Ed Reed's nephew, okay? This dude is studying film. That means, just like Doug said, high IQ. Air Force kids are not stupid. This guy is coming from an academy. That means he's a high IQ, self-motivated SOB. This kid is going to come and make an impact. I'm telling you right now, there's no kids that are great or so motivated than the kids from the academy. They don't need the extra. They got the extra. This kid is an absolute dog on the field. What they're dogging on him is that they say, hey, he's superly, overly aggressive, comes down in the box too hard, will over pursue, and, I'd rather hold my dogs back than teach them how to be angry. And in my opinion, this kid was a steal of the draft in the 7th. Now we're going to go into our next 7th round pick. At corner, MJ Devonshire out of Pitt. Doug, let's drop some numbers on this last pick.
Devonshire is 5'11", 179 pounds, coming out of Pittsburgh, as you said, age 23, man. This kid should have his head on his shoulders. He's not a young kid. He's coming at the age of 23 already into the league. He's a project kid, as we talked about. Maybe more suited for the outside, but he might move into the nickel package because of his size. The only thing about that is that the reports are that he's not the greatest tackler. But, tackling at the pro level can be taught too. It can be coached up. We're led by a defensive-minded coach, so I'm pretty sure that tackling is going to be worked on thoroughly. And so he should be able to contribute, I would believe. But like I said, we need these picks to at least come in and compete. And if we can't sign them, be able to trade them for other picks or get something back out of it, man. We have, as a team, we have to make sure that our drafted players stick around, that we re-sign them, as we're going to talk a little bit about extensions and things like that here in a little while. But I'm just hoping that these kids brings value to this team, a lot of value. So that's my take on that, on the draft class of this year.
Yes, sir. So, MJ Devonshire is coming in, guys. You look at him, and the first thing I told Doug was, he reminds me of Rajon Rondo. He's long. He has a 6'6" wingspan. That means he can play grabby. That means he can play physical in that nickel. With a lot of teams like that, what you got to look at is say, hey, what is this kid's given abilities? And what's his physical attributes? And when Doug said nickel, it automatically clicked into me. When you talk about a guy that can jam at the line of scrimmage with a 6'6" wingspan, that is a lot of length. And you're able to jam up guys on the inside. And even if you're undersized on the inside, because of your length, you're able to make up for a lot of that. And what I think about the draft for the Raiders in 2024 is that we actually drafted, one, the best player available in the first round. We made a lot of smart decisions with our 2nd and 3rd round picks to address depth. With our 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks, we also addressed a lot of depth, but we also got players that have the ability to play special teams and make an impact on this roster for the year of 2024. Now, we're going to move on to contract extensions, baby. And hey, this year, these guys have put in some work for the Raiders, and we believe that they deserve to get paid, baby. So show me that money sign. Let's go. Doug, this year, man, we talked about 3 dudes that really caught our attention, that popped off in film. We got our first guy is Robert Spillane. Now, Doug, tell me a little bit of why you think Spillane needs a contract extension, my brother.
Well, he did come in and he played very well for us, getting the interceptions, getting the sacks, important interceptions too that helped us win games, man. We've been needing that linebacker, that middle linebacker for a long, long time, man. All the way, from Kurt Morrison, right? We haven't really had a stable middle linebacker since right around then. So if Spillane can come in, we can extend him and he can continue to help our defense stop the run and get the turnovers that we need, man. He would be a valuable signing. And again, as we talked, he would be able to help Tommy Etchenberg come along and turn into a pro. It's more than just what he can do on the field. It's also about what he could do, in the locker room, in practice to help our other players get better, man. I think he's the kind of player that we've been needing, and he is a must sign. This is his last year, we just freed up a bunch of money because we let go of the Garoppolo contract. So now all the shows that we're listening to are all talking about who would we sign. So I think it's important to address it too. And my take is extend Spillane first.
Yes, sir. Hey, this guy is an absolute leader on the field. Coach's dream. Guy has 2 broken hands, doesn't miss a game. Guy breaks one hand, makes an interception. Guy is a true leader on the field. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about coaching, man. You need a guy that represents you on the field. As your Mike linebacker, he is your leader on the field. Yes, I know we have Max Crosby on the defense. But when it comes to having a leader on the field for your defense, this is where your Mike linebacker is crucial. Absolutely crucial. He's the guy that's making all the play calls. He's the guy that's leading the guys, telling them, hey, shift this way, do that. And when you get a guy that's a true leader on that field and that represents exactly what you want, Doug, that's a coach's dream. And Spillane really fills that role, man. If you look at him, he's a tackling machine for us. He doesn't make any excuses. And he's a really old school guy. He's a leader. And in my book, what you do with guys like that, you reward them. So, hey, and I don't even think he's going to need such a big contract. I think he just wants somewhere to call home. So, hey, Tom Telesco, I don't know if you're listening, baby, but listen to your boy Raider Will, man. Open up that checkbook. Give us a Mike linebacker for the next couple of years that represents Raider Nation. And I ran into Mama Spillane at one of the tailgates, telling you, one of the nicest ladies ever. And this guy really represents what it is to be a Raider on the field. And I'm telling you like this, I cannot wait to get that 41 jersey in, because that guy is really representing what it is to be a Mike linebacker and to be a Raiders player and the way that we want to be represented on the field.
All right, with all that being said, brother, let's go ahead and head to the film room and take a look at some of these plays that we believe show why you should re-sign Spillane. All right, this play here is Week 5 versus the Green Bay Packers, with Robert Spillane coming up with an interception in the 4th quarter with 9:22 to go on the Las Vegas Raiders 47. At this point in the game, it's 13-7, so this is a key play.
In this play, we got Robert Spillane playing zone coverage against the Green Bay Packers. As you see here, he's highlighted. You see the play develop. Ace formation. You see Jordan Love has located his receiver, Christian Wilkins, and the pass is going to be broken up by Marcus Peters. As the ball is tipped, you see Spillane locate the football in the air and make an absolutely great interception for a turnover for another Raiders interception. Here we got a different angle. You see Spillane reading the quarterback's eyes, locates the football, and makes an absolutely great play against the Green Bay Packers.
All right, so this play is a perfect example of why we want to re-sign Spillane, right? Or Spillane, because he was key in coming up with 4th quarter interceptions, as we're about to see. But this play was in the 4th quarter versus the Green Bay Packers, and it helped seal the deal. That's why Spillane in the middle is such a big asset to this defense, man. He is not necessarily a ball hawk, but he is a capable linebacker, able to get interceptions, alert, right? Because he was in the right spot, right time on the tip ball, right? He was paying attention to what was going on in the game. His head's on a swivel. I mean, he is a key player in this defense, and that play is one reason why. So I really do like Spillane, and let's just go ahead and move on to the next play, though. Here's another 4th quarter interception from Robert Spillane with 1:14 to go. The Jets are on the Las Vegas Raiders 20-yard line in a close game. So take us through this play, Will.
All right, so here we have Robert Spillane being highlighted during the play. As we see, he's set in zone coverage. You guys can see it's a 2-high shell. You got a nickel, you got 2 corners, and you got 2 linebackers. As we go through the play, you see Spillane has already identified He's reading the quarterback. He's reading his eyes. He starts moving into his zone, identifies the most immediate threat in his zone, makes an absolutely great break on that play, undercuts the receiver, and then takes it the other way. Here we have another view. Spillane doing a great job reading the quarterback's eyes, undercuts the receiver, and takes it another way for another Raiders interception. And that was another crucial interception by Robert Spillane. Guys, this is the reason we're saying we need this playmaker in the middle. A guy that makes interception, makes big-time plays when we got told that he couldn't make those type of plays. That's leadership. That's what we're looking for on defense. Turnovers, because turnovers equals touchdowns, baby. And that's what we need on defense. A defense that can score, that can create turnovers, that can give the offense a better chance of scoring better ball position. And that's why we think Robert Spillane deserves an extension. And now we're going to move on to Nate Hobbs. And right now we have a great play showing in tandem of what Robert Spillane and Nate Hobbs can do together, baby.
Here's another fourth quarter play with Robert Spillane leading the way and Nate Hobbs coming through with the tackle. It is 2nd and 18 on the Las Vegas Raiders 42-yard line, and the score is 6-30.
And here we got Nate Hobbs and Robert Spillane working in tandem. As you guys can see, the Giants start in a 2-by-2 formation and then go into motion into 3-by-1. This automatically triggers the blitz by the opposite side linebacker of Spillane and Hobbs. This makes it so Hobbs and Spillane have to work in tandem on the running back on the inside out as they have both read run. And this is a great combo tackle by Hobbs and Spillane. Now we have a different view. You guys can see Spillane. The motion comes over. He's reading it. Hobbs comes down hard and Spillane make the combo tackle for the Raiders against the Giants. And guys, that's another reason why we love this combination of having Hobbs and Spillane. Guys, these two guys are absolute playmakers, and that is why we keep saying these guys need extensions. So now we're moving into Nate Hobbs. Doug, what are your thoughts on Nate Hobbs?
I've always been a Nate Hobbs fan. I love that he can play outside and inside, but I feel like he's more valuable on the inside in the slot position. And this play right here, the last play, just showed why, you should re-sign Spillane, but also Hobbs. Those two do work in great tandem. They did it all year, man, and it was consistent. So I feel like you should definitely extend these guys so that the middle of our defense has consistency and continues to play well. So I feel like it's a must signing as far as signing Hobbs.
Another must signing. Guys, we are going to now dig a little bit deeper into why Nate Hobbs is also a must signing.
All right, Raider Nation, here we go with another great example of why we want to sign or extend Hobbs this year. This is versus the New York Giants. This is the second quarter with 1:57 to go. It's 1st and 10. And the score, this is more of a dominating game, but we were able to dominate in this game because of plays like this. So let's take a look.
All right, guys. So here, let's take a deeper look into this play. Here, we're going to see Nate Hobbs highlighted in this play. As you can see, Nate Hobbs, we are in a cover 3. There's a wide receiver, misses the ball, Marcus Peters tips the ball. But there's one playmaker on that field today, baby, and that is Nate Hobbs with the great alert play for an interception in enemy territory, setting up the Raiders with great field position. Here we got a different view. As you guys can see, DeVito throws the ball. The ball is tipped by the receiver, then tipped again. Nate Hobbs with the alert play. And again, another great interception for Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are back in action, baby. Now, guys, you guys see why we want to bring Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is an absolute playmaker for the Raiders. Guys, this is something that we keep saying. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. We've already realized this year that we need to be more potent on offense. Right, Doug? So we said, hey, there's a remedy for that. That's giving the ball to our offense in a key position and giving them the opportunity to score as many points as possible while taking away the ball from the opponent.
Yeah, so this is another tip ball, right? The thing about that is these players are alert. We just saw Spillane get an interception off a tip ball. We're looking at Hobbs get an interception off a tip ball. These guys play heads up, and they play heads up together, man. You could say it was a lucky interception, but I'm telling you, it's about concentration. These guys are paying attention. They're working hard in the film room. And then when you do things like work hard in the film room and play hard, opportunities like this present themselves, and you have to be able to capitalize on it. And these two players, Spillane and Hobbs, are capable of capitalizing on miscues by the opposing offenses. So I believe Spillane and Hobbs are an absolute. We must extend their contracts.
Absolutely. And you said there's something key there. Guys, concentration. We're obviously working on those turnover drills in practice because that is tip drill stuff. Guys, that is not something that easy to do. It is something that is practiced repetitively. And good on you, Patrick Graham. And again, another reason, guys, why we need Hobbs and Spillane is for them to create turnovers and lead this defense in 2024, baby. So now we see why we need Nate Hobbs. We see why we need Spillane. We're going to come at you guys now with our third key extension for the Raiders this season. And this is an absolute workhorse up front, baby. The guy from the Bayou City down LSU, Malcolm Coons. Just coming off an electrifying year this year, guys, where he comes off a 9-sack season, I believe, and he is just on fire, right next to Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, and now Big Daddy Christian Wilkins. And let's run a little bit of the film and show you guys why we believe Malcolm Coons is a key sign.
So here we go with our first play of Malcolm Coons. This is against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Raiders defense is facing off against their offense at the Los Angeles Chargers 48. 2nd and 10. Big play for Malcolm Coons. Tell us about this play, Will.
And here we got Malcolm Coons set up, playing defensive end, gets in this 3-point stance. We see him come out, attack that defensive end with a little bit of woo-woo, wee-wee, hits him with that double hand swipe, gets a little sidestep, makes his way back towards the quarterback and gets an absolutely great strip sack right here. You see Tyree Wilson recover it. Guys, this is another key reason we keep saying we need these guys to get extension. Turnovers. Here we got him again from a different angle. As you guys can see, he's working 3-point stance. We're going to go into a little bit slower motion here, guys, so I can show you guys how he sets up this guy. Okay. He sets him up. As you guys can see, he takes an inside step, has both hands ready to swipe. That left tackle extends his hands. There's a double arm swipe, and then he takes a side step, as I like to call the Hoo hee hee. Woo! Make a move, baby. Dips underneath that left tackle. Makes a rip and makes an absolutely great sack for another turnover strip sack. Raiders!
Malcolm Coons coming up big in the first quarter against the Chargers. You know, those are huge key plays. We're talking about getting turnovers. Malcolm Coons has come on strong. Coming out of Buffalo, a lot of Raider Nation was hoping that he would be the next Khalil Mack. Hasn't quite worked out that well yet, but he is showing signs of becoming a complete edge rusher. I'm excited about him, especially knowing that we have Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, man. Extending Malcolm Coons is only going to solidify our defensive line and help free up our linebacker and Robert Spillane and give Hobbs extra room to make plays too, man. He's a great addition to this roster. And, you know, since we were talking about the drafts earlier, we said we want these players to stick around. Well, we drafted Malcolm Coons, so we should extend Malcolm Coons. Keep these players. Don't let the players that we draft go to waste by just letting them go or them not working out. So I'm excited about Malcolm Coons, and we can take a look at another play just so we can see more of what he's capable of. We were just talking about Malcolm Coons coming around the edge in the last play, and this play is going to do the same thing. But this is even a bigger play in the same game. Third quarter, 12 seconds to go, 1st and 10 at the Las Vegas Raiders 46. Watch this great play that everybody remembers.
Here we got Malcolm Coons coming off the edge in a 2-point stance for an absolutely electrifying play for the Raiders. You see him here. He sets up in a 2-point stance, attacks that double team. Lazy block by Chargers tight end, then takes off that right tackle, dips and rips past the quarterback. Now, he has come down to an all-hustle play by Malcolm Coons. Chases down the quarterback for a sack strip, and you see John Jenkins, big sexy, for a just scoop, score, for a 6, baby. Let's go Raiders! There we got another view of the same play. We see him take on the double team. Beats that left tackle. All hustle play. Great hustle here by Malcolm Coons. All out effort. Strip. Fumble. Defense identifies. And again, another 6 for the Raiders defense. And guys, this is why Malcolm Coons is an essential player for the Raiders. All right, guys, now you guys see why we think Malcolm Coons is essential. Another turnover machine. Here, he beats the left tackle, coming with straight speed. He is a speed guy that likes to dip and rip around the corner. He has great bend, Doug. Doug, we keep saying key things here. We need guys that get turnovers and guys that create points for us on defense. On this extension right here, we keep going and saying Malcolm Coons, man. A guy that's coming into his own. He's a young man. He's just growing, keeps getting better. I really feel like this past season was his breakout season. And when you put him across from Max Crosby, that amount of pressure for that amount of time and them only pushing, growing, and getting better together, man, sky's the limit for the Raiders' defensive line, which we have called now death. Here, they are just death. And we need the 4 horsemen of death up front. And Malcolm Coons definitely deserves to be that 4th horseman. Doug?
I agree with you 100%, man. That play was huge in that game. That play was huge for the season, man. Malcolm Coons is gonna, if we can extend him, he's gonna face a lot of one-on-one blocking, and he showed us right there in those two plays that he is more than capable to get to the quarterback, man. So I'm excited that he's on our team, and I'm hoping that Telesco realizes that he's a valuable player, and we need to keep our guys that we draft, and I hope that they give him the extension, because he does. It's not only just his value, but he deserves it. He's a Raider through and through, man. He's been working hard, and that's the kind of players that we need.
You're absolutely correct, brother. I mean, and there's a lot of things that we keep talking about here on the show today, guys, is that there's key components that we need, key guys that need to come back to strengthen our team. And another way that you strengthen your team is through now free agency, baby. And free agency is a crucial part for us. And now post June 1st, we have $34 million in salary cap space for the season, Doug. And you know that, hey, we need to spend a little bit of that money to upgrade certain positions on our team. So we looked at certain guys, and here we go into free agency pickups that we need to do, baby, for the 2024 season.
All right, Raider Nation, we've been talking about key plays that have changed the game for the Raiders. Now we're looking at filling a hole for the Raiders with Stephon Gilmore. And in this play, this is against the Chargers in the fourth quarter with 1:31 to go. It's a huge play, a game-changing play. Let's check it out, Will.
All right, guys, here we got Stephon Gilmore at the very top of the screen highlighted. We'll see that he is a smart corner. Gives his guy space. He is a man-to-man coverage. Drops back. Reads the eyes of the quarterback. As you guys can see, he's already dropping his hips, driving on the football. Gets in front of the receiver and makes an absolutely great pick six. Or pick in the fourth quarter. Here we got a different view. You see Justin Herbert drop back, gets pressure, makes a bad throw, and Justin Gilmore capitalizes for a pick for the Cowboys. Guys, this is another reason we keep saying, hey, we think Gilmore is going to be a great pickup for the Raiders. Gilmore is a seasoned guy that comes out and will make a big play when needed. Marcus Peters, we thought, was going to be that guy. He would come out and he'd drop the ball. Stephon Gilmore is still at the top of his game and is an absolute true professional. He has a high standard for himself. He likes to make plays. Yes, he likes to get paid. But he likes to make plays and make key turnovers. And when a guy is under pressure, which we expect death up front to be putting a bunch of pressure on the quarterbacks every single play, there's going to be a lot of key mistakes made by quarterbacks, and Stephon Gilmore will make them pay. Doug, what are your thoughts on Stephon Gilmore's play?
You know, Gilmore's been an elite cornerback in the NFL for a long time. I think that he would be a great addition, a classic Raider signing to help this roster improve, right? There's a few glaring holes, right? The two most obvious ones are cornerback and quarterback. So we signed Gardner Minshew. You know, we have some options with Faison and a couple of cornerbacks that we drafted and we talked about earlier, but if we want to make a real impact this year and win this year, we need that cornerback that can shut down one side of the field and give Jack Jones an opportunity to be the ball hawk that he is. So I feel like the Stephon Gilmore signing would be a great addition for the Raiders. All right, Raider Nation, right now we're going to see Stephon Gilmore versus the New York Giants intercept Daniel Jones. This is in the second quarter with 10:55 to go, 1st and 10, 19-0. Dallas is up. So take us through this play, Will.
All right, guys, here we got Stephon Gilmore lined up one-on-one against this receiver. We see him in press coverage. Quarterback goes up. He identifies that the quarterback has now thrown the ball and is outside the pocket, and then makes an absolute great play on the ball for an interception for the Cowboys. Now we're going to move on to another view of this play where we're going to slow it down and break it down for you guys because it's a better view. As you guys can see, Stephon Gilmore is locked up one-on-one, man-to-man. He's in press coverage. He's locked up. Loses his receiver. I want you guys to notice how he's still keeping his eyes back towards the quarterback and keeping the receiver in his peripheral vision. This is crucial for any corner to have eye discipline. Identifies the quarterback has left the pocket. Looks for his receiver. Stays with his receiver. Now identifies that the quarterback is about to throw. Breaks on the ball and makes an absolutely great interception versus the Giants. Now, Doug, from what we can see again, Stephon Gilmore is an absolute dog. Man is a man on a mission when the ball is in the air, and that is why I think, honestly, he's a great man to set up across from Jack Jones. You really have to pick your poison. You have to look at it and say, hey, man, am I going to take on this young and upcoming guy and challenge him and push Jack Jones to the limit and make him better? Or am I going to go against Stephon Gilmore and think, hey, man, I'm going to take advantage of the old guy out there, but he's savvy as hell, makes great plays, and is disciplined. And again, we keep coming back to it where I keep saying something. His level of professionalism is on a different level. And when you bring a guy like that into your corners room, into your practice facility, into your locker room, I guarantee the level of play is going to go up. What are your thoughts, brother?
I think you hit it right on the nail, bro. To me, I said it a minute ago, this would be a classic Raiders signing. Al Davis was known for signing older players to help his squad now. Stephon Gilmore may be older, but he still obviously has the fresh legs and is able, and the know-how, the know-how to stay in the play when it's a busted play and make an interception. Now, that's key in the AFC West because, Patrick Mahomes is there. He loves to run to the sideline and throw to the middle of the field, and Stephon Gilmore just showed that he can defend that kind of a pass. So I think he would be a great addition to this roster and a classic Raider signing.
Absolutely. And now, guys, we're going to move into our last key signing that we think the Raiders have to have. And the reason I love this signing is because we give another black eye to the Denver Broncos, baby. Let's go. And we're looking at, Justin Simmons, an absolute stud, Pro Bowl safety that the Broncos let go this year. I mean, Doug, it blew my mind when they let this guy go. If you guys we live in Colorado, so we see a lot of football that is related to that ugly-ass colored team. But this guy is a quality player, Doug. If you've ever seen Justin Simmons play, I love the way he plays the game. He's physical. He's fast. He plays hard. What are your thoughts on us bringing Justin Simmons?
I think that Justin Simmons would be a great addition to this team. Now, I know a lot of people don't like those ugly Bronco colors and sometimes don't want those players to come over, but we've signed players like Willie Brown and Lyle Izaledo that came from the Broncos and played well for us for many, many years. The thing is, though, as we'll see in these plays, his awareness, his alertness, and his ability to play against Patrick Mahomes would be a great addition to this backfield. So let's go ahead and take a look at these highlights. All right, Raider Nation, we're going to take a look at Justin Simmons making an impact play in the first quarter versus the Chiefs. We got 3 minutes to go. It's on the Denver 15, 3rd and 8. Here we go. Take us through this play, Will.
And here we got Justin Simmons at the top of the play. The Broncos in a too high safety look. He identifies that Patrick Mahomes is under duress. Starts reading his eyes. There you guys can see him start breaking towards the receiver. Takes advantage of that undercut throw for a Broncos interception. Here we got a different view. You see Patrick Mahomes under duress. Makes an ill-advised throw. And Justin Simmons is able to capitalize. Now, guys, this is another reason we keep saying again, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. He took advantage and was able to create turnovers. Guys, turnovers are so key now, especially with so many rules going against the defense and going against pass rushers and saying, hey, we can't be a little bit too physical with the guys up, that are throwing the football. So now, with another guy in the backfield that capitalizes, that takes advantage of mistakes that these guys are making, it's another crucial part that we need to add to our Raiders defense. And now we're going to go into another reason why we think Justin Simmons is that type of guy.
All right, Raider Nation, we keep talking about big fourth quarter plays. Now, this is a fourth quarter play that is huge against the Chiefs, and another reason why Justin Simmons would be a valuable member of this defense and why we should go out and sign him. So take us through this play, Will.
Here we got Justin Simmons playing the deep safety against his division rival, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes likes to break the pocket, breaks to the right. You see him working to the right side of the field, identifies the receiver, and high points the football for a Justin Simmons interception. Here we're going to take you guys into a little different view here in a second, so that way you guys get a better view of what you guys will see from Justin Simmons. You see Patrick Mahomes breaks the pocket to the right. As we keep saying, Patrick likes to extend the plays. Throws the ball deep with an ill-advised throw where Justin Simmons is waiting to go high point the football in front of not only the offensive player but another defender to say that ball is mine, aka ball hawk. And takes it for an interception. Wow, Doug. And this is why I keep saying, I don't know if you guys just saw that play, but I'm telling you guys, that is not something easy to do. The guy is playing a deep fourth. He comes over, high points the football, takes it away from the opponent, and is, again, a ball hawk. Man, this is why we need them, Doug. This is why we keep saying, please bring these guys. They're turnover machines. They're going to upgrade our defense. They're going to be guys that get us the offense back or the football back and put us in key positions to score points. I absolutely would love to give the Broncos another black eye and take one of their best players and add them to our roster and make sure that our defense is ready for it. Doug, what are your thoughts on that, brother?
Man, we've looked at a lot of fourth quarter plays of these guys that we want signed, and they're making plays in the fourth quarter. So this would be a great signing because this play in particular shows Simmons' ability to play against Patrick Mahomes. Okay, he's used to playing against Patrick Mahomes. All right, he knew that when Mahomes ran to the right, look for the ball to come in the air back towards the middle. And as you said, he high pointed the ball over his guy and the wide receiver. So he would be a great addition to this team, man. We saw Stephon Gilmore, picking off balls that are coming back towards the middle of the field. We've seen Simmons picking off balls that are coming back towards the middle of the field. Those two guys working that same side of the field together would be a great asset to this defense, man. So I feel like he is a must sign, man. He's out there. Go get him to let's get this defense going. We know we already have the potential to be a top 10 defense, but let's get there and be a top 5 with players like Simmons, Gilmore. Man, they would take this defense to newer heights. We're talking 2000, 2001 Baltimore Ravens style defense. We're talking about the Buccaneers defense. I hate saying those names because those defenses beat us. So let's get a defense that can beat them, right? All right. See, don't forget they had Trent Dilfer. They had weak quarterbacks in those games, man. If we can build an elite defense, we're going to be okay on offense, man, because it's only going to get better. All right. Aiden O'Connell is consistent. He's a game manager. He's accurate. He can step up. Just give him a defense. I think that's what Derek Carr hurt the most, right? He never had an elite defense. Well, we lost our number one quarterback, or the guy that broke all the records. Now we got the number one defense, but we're homegrown, our own guys. We brought in Minshew. He's a gunslinger. So we'll see what happens, man. But these Gilmore and Simmons would be great additions.
Hey, you got me all pumped up and ready to go, baby, for the season.
Let's
I'm
go.
going to tell you right now, let's go get that man. Get that man. That's what we need to do, baby. We need to attack free agency. We need to go out there and be aggressive, just like AP said. Hey, baby, it's all about the Raiders. It's all about what we do. We're building the culture. Bring other guys that are upgrading the culture. Justin Simmons will upgrade the culture. He's a Pro Bowler. He's a guy that has a high level. He's never in trouble. I look at Stephon Gilmore. The man is a true professional. We keep saying, raise the bar. So all these guys that we want to bring in want to raise the bar. All these guys on the contract extensions that we're talking about want to raise the bar for Raider Nation. So again, there's one thing that we do here on this show, and it's bring you all the truth about Raider Nation, bringing it to you live. And all these guys, what we're going to do is tell you, upgrade our team and make it so we can get to the next level, baby. And that's how we're going to grow.
Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. And we're building brick by brick, piece by piece, bringing in the right guys, quality product, and that's what we want to bring. And that's why we're telling you, let's go get that man. So, guys, please click like, subscribe. Our boy is going to go bing, 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 bing right now all the way across me. And you guys will see all our links on social media. Please make sure you guys are commenting, like, subscribe. Tell us how we can get better and how we can do a better service for you, Raider Nation. So, Doug, do you got anything for our people?
Just make sure you're following us on social media, Raider Nation. We're going to be putting out many of the video shorts, reels, and all that. We want to keep you entertained. We want to keep you updated. We want to keep you informed, man. So be here every week. We'll be putting out episodes.
Yes, sir. So, guys, make sure you guys click like, subscribe. It's Sideline to Sideline. It's the full length, 100 yards, baby. We got you covered in Raiders football. And, hey, it's all about one team. It's all about one nation. It's all about the Raiders.